Guys, we mentioned it earlier, but today's episode is brought to us by Epicor. Every team knows the value of hard work, of taking pride in what you build and practicing every detail to get the best results. But no one player, no matter how amazing, can do it all alone. Working together makes getting the win easier. At Epicor, the All-Stars are the hardworking manufacturers and distributors who create and deliver the things we all need, from aerospace to electrical to medical devices, from small businesses with big dreams to growing enterprises with global visions. We'll equip you with the right tools to move forward, think ahead, and lead the way. Because as the clock ticks down, you need to make the most out of every hardworking minute. Easier doesn't cut corners. Easier finds the lane. Discover your success today at www.easierwithepicor.com. That is easierwithepicor.com. The Browns have 4 quarterbacks that are currently healthy enough to compete for the starting job. There's 5 if you want to include Deshaun Watson, but for the sake of this, we are going with the 4 quarterbacks healthy enough to compete to be QB1 in Week 1. And the odds for the Browns' Week 1 starter have officially been released. And if you want to take this graphic full here, Kenny Pickett, the early favorite. This will change 100 times before the actual kickoff of Week 1. But Kenny Pickett is the early favorite to be the Browns' Week 1 starter. That's at plus 120. Shedeur Sanders, their 5th-round pick, second best odds, plus 225. Joe Flacco, the free agent they brought in this summer, who led them to the playoffs in 2023, is listed at plus 300. And Dillon Gabriel, their 3rd-round pick, is listed at plus 650. But what do you make of these odds?
Where did these odds come from? That's what I need to know.
Let's talk about the bizarre. Before we even talk about who we think, let's talk about how bizarre these odds are.
Yes.
First of all,
why is Shedeur
the guy of those 4 people, the guy you spent the most draft capital on, a 3rd-round pick, is the last-ranked guy on the list.
Makes no sense.
Last. You gave up a 5th-round pick for Kenny Pickett, a 5th-round pick for Shedeur Sanders, and Joe Flacco's a free agent at 40 years old. And the guy you drafted in the 3rd round is the last odds.
Who cares?
Number 2, why is Kenny Pickett number 1?
I did not make these.
Why is Shedeur number 2? That's what. How is it not Joe? In worst case scenario, how is it not Joe?
I don't understand this. I've been asking people. It started with Jason Lloyd.
Yeah.
Then Mary Kay. Then Aditi.
Yeah.
Then Jeff Phelps. And then Andy Baskin. And then I'm looking around and everybody's like, yeah, it's probably, Kenny Pickett. Tell me one thing. I'm honest. Tell me one thing that you saw from Kenny Pickett while he was a Pittsburgh Steeler or while he was a backup in Philadelphia that says that he is the prohibitive favor as a starter.
I guess if you want to purposely lose, maybe he'd be the prohibitive favorite.
What's that stat about him? 4th quarter comebacks and winners, game winners.
Oh yeah.
And I'm glad you corrected people. You corrected Jay yesterday. Who did you correct? They talk about he doesn't throw interceptions.
Oh, Jason.
No, yes he does.
He has one more touchdown than Pick in his career.
I'm like, man, you guys can't just throw that out there quick and keep it pushing.
What about that stat?
What?
He was like top in 4th quarter comebacks and stuff.
Man, listen.
He did.
Hey, listen. Hey, salute to him. And
we need finishers.
Now it's finishers. No, we need starters.
Here's why I think he's the favorite.
Why?
Guys, even though I would not pick him as the favorite, and certainly if I were betting, if you ask me who am I going to bet on, I'm betting on Joe Flacco. Now maybe I'm crazy. I don't know what the Browns are thinking.
Go throw a 10 down.
Again, by the way, folks, Joe Flacco is going to be on my podcast. Was originally scheduled for today. Tomorrow. He'll be on with me tomorrow morning.
Ask that man how he feel about the competition.
I am 100% going to ask him about that. So
ask him to come on UCSS too.
Yeah.
How you gonna poach you? He just poached your guest right in front of you.
Yeah.
That's poaching.
No, don't be poaching, Mike. I'll try to. I didn't personally get him on. Somebody got him on for me.
He came on the show already.
So I guess maybe somebody knows something that maybe the Browns are going to decide to move on for Joe Flacco. I don't know. The argument, they got Kenny Pickett before Joe Flacco. I don't know if that holds any water. But this is crazy to me. Kenny Pickett, when I saw, did anybody see Aditi did. And I love her. I just don't see what she saw. Every time I watch this guy play, I'm like, he stinks.
I'm like, man. I watched him when Nick Chubb went out of the game. They tried to get that game away.
Yeah, I know.
He lost the DTR.
I think it's because Sam Darnold
That's it.
last year.
That's it,
It's
Bull.
the Sam Darnold effect.
Well,
That's
that's what Aditi kept saying.
And by the way,
That's
She kept
stop.
saying that.
Everybody's doing this and it's driving me crazy.
That's
Stop putting Baker Mayfield and Jared Goff in the same category as Sam Darnold. That is, Jared Goff had a
went to the
level of
Super
success.
Bowl.
He was in the Super Bowl.
Baker Mayfield, let's not, as much as you and I maybe didn't love him,
Didn't he break the rookie
he
pass and touchdown?
still had a level of success in
Yes.
Cleveland.
Yes.
He wasn't a scrub here.
Yes.
We decided he wasn't good enough. I think a lot of people thought he wasn't good enough. Obviously, he's been a lot better than Tampa. But nobody's going to deny that he had some level of... It wasn't... Sam Darnold went to the Jets and did nothing. He was completely terrible.
Yeah.
That's a bad example.
Sam
You
Darnold.
want to put Geno Smith in the Sam Darnold category? Okay, I can live with that. But here's the truth. What has Geno done in the playoffs?
Zip 0.
What did Sam Darnold do in the playoffs?
Has he been to the playoffs,
Geno? I think so.
With the Seahawks?
I'll look it up. I think he has.
Sam Darnold looked lost in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Completely
Down the stretch.
lost.
Now, maybe Sam Darnold will be like Kirk Cousins, will play well in the regular season, and keep you competitive. I don't know. He's going to the Seahawks now. We'll see what changes.
Geno's played in one playoff game, lost it.
Yeah.
Was it to San Fran?
It was in 22, to San Fran.
Yeah. So, okay, for every Geno and Sam Darnold, I could give you 20 other guys who stunk and then just continued to stink. So, if you think Kenny Pickett's going to be good,
We talked,
I guess it's possible. I just don't see it.
We talked about it when we came in. I said, look, if you guys are, and a lot of people are, and I'll give it to them, if you guys are hell-bent on talking about whether, you got Arch Manning or next draft class is better,
Garrett Nussmeier, Cade Klubnik, Drew Aller, the top quarterbacks.
All the next year guys,
Carson Beck.
next year. See, here's the thing. This is why you don't be watching no tape, Tyvis. Because they had to wait till the way too early mock draft came out so they can name and identify who's better next year. I used to ask them on the spot, next year's class is better. Which one you want?
Arch Manning, Garrett Nussmeier, Cade Klubnik, Drew Aller, Carson Beck.
There you go.
It's like 5 names.
Yeah, but if you look at like Dane Brugler's mock draft,
He had 5 quarterbacks for the 2026 mock, including 3 going in the
no,
top
but if
5.
you look at his first mock draft a year ago for this year,
None of those guys are in
he
it.
had, and that's not a knock at him. I'm sure everybody did.
Carson Beck, nowhere to be found.
He had all these guys be in the first
Carson
round,
Beck
and guys didn't.
blew it.
So there's no way to know who's going to be good
Oh,
next
it's a complete
year.
crapshoot. There's no definitive way.
Exactly.
Absolutely not. None.
But the point is, you want to see Shedeur and Dillon Gabriel probably at least one of them play at some point. But I'd be leaning towards starting Joe Flacco week 1 for me.
To me, I've always thought Joe Flacco would start.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking at it from a standpoint of you got 2 quarterbacks. If you want to draft a quarterback next year, don't you have to see what quarterback you got this year?
Yes.
Wait a minute. Let's call a spade here, okay? Right now, there's 4 quarterbacks on this roster. When that 53 come out, it's going to be 3.
That's correct.
Who's getting cut?
I think you'll be able to trade
Somebody will get traded.
a late round
Who?
pick. I would say Pickett. But I got no problem with letting all 4 compete.
That's how
Zero problem.
That's going to happen.
That's how
I don't
They're
know.
gonna
We don't
get
need to
traded.
force Kenny Pickett out. Maybe
that's
he
how I'm
blows us all away.
I'm just trying to say, like,
Well, one of them is going to be gone.
somebody's leaving.
And I doubt it's going to be either of the rookies.
Now here.
It ain't gonna be Dillon Gabriel's a 3rd round pick.
Hold on,
He's
hold on,
good.
hold on.
Out of everybody,
Let's just
Dillon
get to-
Gabriel will be on the
Let's
roster.
just get to the kicking it then. Like, let's just keep it real. The question is, what is the percent chance that Shadur Sanders is on the 53-man roster when the season starts?
90%.
I just seen the Toronto, the CFL team got first rights to him.
Oh, yeah?
If he don't make it.
I'm saying 90% short Shadur's on the team. What say you?
90%?
Yeah.
I go 95.
If this season's gonna stink, you need marketing. He's gonna be here. He gonna put butts in the seat.
But listen, and I hate how people don't see. I've always told you people out there, listen, when you talk about, don't talk about politics. No, this is all political. The political game. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right. I still want to know who did it. Somebody came downstairs in the middle of the night and said, "Jimmy, this needs to stop."
You know who said it?
Jimmy's
You know who said it?
who?
Donald Trump actually put a tweet out
Look,
saying
Said it after the first round.
it's ridiculous that Deion said
Somebody,
that Shedeur ain't drafted.
I don't know whose wife came down in the middle of the night and said, "Listen,
Jimmy, this got to
hey,
stop.
This has to stop now." Well, I didn't have anything to do with it. I told you I was trying to stay out of it. No, guess what? When the political nature comes, you can't have the third highest jersey already. The two highest jerseys is Travis Hunter,
Cam Ward,
and
Shedeur
his.
Sanders.
And this dude is a 5th round pick. Why would you not just print the money?
This is pre-ordered jerseys. The
you're
number
saying
hasn't
100%?
even been identified.
The number ain't identified.
It's whenever they put the number,
it could be a
the
nasty-
shipment goes out.
It could be a nasty number. It could be a nasty number like 18.
What's your percentage? I'm saying 90. Mike said 95.
100%.
100%.
I'll play devil's advocate. I'll go 80%.
All right, what's the percentage chance that Joe Flacco's here opening day?
50-50.
Yeah, that's a 50-50.
All depends on
That's
how.
I'm going to say 60.
If he got that arm, he's in there.
Kenny Pickett 50 also?
My prediction: the Flacco Pickett winner stays. The loser gets traded. They keep both rookies. That's the 3 quarterbacks.
That's most likely what happens.
Yeah.
And if it's a true competition, I'll be stunned if Kenny Pickett beats out Joe
technically, the
Flacco.
competition is against Joe and Kenny.
Yes, but there would be 2 competition. First of all,
They should be competing for quarterback.
everybody should
Yes.
compete
If
for the starting
Shedeur
job.
or Dillon
If
is
one of the
best,
rookies wins
they
the
should
job,
be
they should
QB1.
get it.
Yes.
That's simple.
I'll be stunned.
Even if it's Joe Flacco versus Kenny Pickett for the starting job and the loser's getting moved, you still want the other 2 guys compete to see who's going to be the backup.
Yep.
Facts.
Yep.
So
I just don't want this thing to turn into an Imani Bates on the Cavs type thing with Shedeur. Like, where everybody in the world is Imani Bates should be playing. It's ridiculous that the Cavs ain't got this man. I don't want Shedeur to be like that because it'll be worse.
that's why.
He has to play.
Couple of things real quick. We move on. Number one, this would be way worse than Imani Bates.
This is.
G was the only one hot and bothered on Imani Bates.
No! All celebrities.
Okay, fine.
Every black celebrity loves Imani Bates.
And we still
How do I
still
get in the
on it.
black celebrity pipeline? How am I not knowing these things? I need to be in the black celebrity pipeline.
Toss me an application this afternoon.
I want an application.
So hold
Number
on.
2,
you want to be in the black celebrity pipeline. That's crazy.
let me tell you something else. Number 2,
Pause.
to make it's much easier for the Browns not to me, yeah, I'd love to see Shadur Sanders play, but don't play him until he's ready.
Okay.
Don't force it, right?
Okay.
It's much easier to do that if Joe Flacco's the starter versus Kenny Pickett. Because the fans like Joe Flacco.
You're right.
Yeah, you're right.
You're right.
The fans like Joe Flacco.
Kenny Pickett throw a pick.
I think in a perfect world, Joe Flacco starts the season, and then eventually Shedeur comes in.
Can I say this?
Nobody's going to want to see Kenny Pickett play.
Kenny Pickett throws a pick, it's going to be all
Did you guys see
man.
that the Browns? Now they probably was going to do it. You said that the Browns declined Kenny Pickett's 5th-year option.
Yes.
Yeah, which that was over 20 million. They were definitely
we knew
do
that wasn't going to happen, right? But Pickett got a raw deal here. When they
You
drafted
guys-
He got a
You
raw
guys mentioned
deal.
Dillon Gabriel.